Hi, everybody, and welcome to EdTech Chatting 2, episode number 49. We're almost to 50, Mike.
I know. That's the big 50 coming up.
Do you feel old already?
I do.
Halfway to 100.
Well, I feel old because this is the first year in my 19 years of teaching that I have a student who I also had her mother. So that's that's rough.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I can see that being an issue. I was even thinking just earlier today, the first-year students that I had are now 30.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I was 7 when I started teaching. I don't know. But I do adore them all. But we're excited to have you join us today. We're going to be talking about some of the new projects we've got in the works and things that we're working on. But we have Micah from Kansas.
Hey, everyone.
And Mike from Pennsylvania.
Yes, and I have to tell everyone, this isn't my normal getup. It is, mismatch day. I'm not colorblind. It's not what I normally wear to school.
But you look so sportive, festive.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the scarf makes anything. You can dress anything up with the scarf, right?
Makes it pop.
Well, tell them what you were doing last night.
Well, I was at Game 2 of the National League Championship Series between the Mets and the Cubs. It ended, we got out of the stadium around 11:30, and I got back home almost at 2 in the morning, so I'm a little bit tired today, but let's go Mets. It's all good.
And we, Mike and I, are rooting for the Royals, so we will see if the two teams come together.
Yeah, we may have to have a, EdTech Chatting 2, little wager going on there.
At least sporting the right colors. Pull together. All right, so let's talk about some projects that we have going on right now. Mike, let's start with you. What are you kind of working on?
So right now, actually, I just a couple years ago, when I was the curriculum coach working with our science teacher at the time, we did a massive project-based, problem-based learning lesson, project-based learning lesson, where the kids ended up at the end of the project building walk-in life-size cell models. And we're in the process of just starting that now. It's a little bit later because it's my first year teaching science, just kind of getting my bearings and knowing the timing of things. We're just starting to get that going now. So today I showed to my 5th graders the original trailer. It was like a 3.5-minute trailer of the Fantastic Voyage from 1966. And at the time in the trailer it talks about the incredible special effects, of going inside the human body. And the kids watched it, and afterwards I'm like, weren't those special effects incredible? And they looked at me like, that was terrible. We could do better than that. And I'm like, perfect, because you're going to. We're going to build life-size cell models. So it worked just the way I wanted to, and so that's what we're kicking off in 5th grade. Our 3rd graders are starting to learn about world biomes, and so I've always wanted to get Minecraft into the classroom a little bit, but I don't have the Minecraft EDU subscription. All I have is the tablet edition on our one class iPad that we have. And so what we did today is we started flying around, or last couple of 3rd grade classes I had. We flew around in Minecraft a little bit, and we talked about the different biomes in Minecraft. And then it was a natural, it was a pretty easy transition to say, okay, well, what are the equivalents here on Earth that we have? And we kicked off biomes in that way. So those 3rd graders are starting to do some research. And with the podcast, last year we did the October video message exchange, which was awesome. We had about 25 different schools from all over the world that participated, where we would throw out about a 30-second video just saying, what are some of the foods that people eat in your hometown, or what do people do for recreation? And we were just talking before the call that we're going to get that up and running again, probably for the first week in November, so that we can, get classes and students from all over the world sharing a little bit about their hometown, so that kids from other places can be exposed to them. So I'm really excited to get that up and running.
There's always something awesome happening, Mike, in your world. This makes me happy. I just want you to know.
Me happy too. I have a lot of fun.
Well, and last year when we were involved in that video exchange project, wow, we just not only had phenomenal responses come back in, but you saw a lot of students jumping in to explore the countries a little bit deeper than they would have previously. Like, oh, well, like our Canadian friends, they've created that video on poutine. And the kids, what is this? And they had to jump in and explore, and they're like, I don't know if I'd want to eat it. But our Canadian friends made a pretty strong case, the reason why you needed to have it. So I was curious. Have you had?
Having traveled over summer vacation to Canada for the first time, and I've had poutine here in the States, but having the Canadian, real life Canadian poutine for the first time, it is spectacular.
Really?
Yeah, oh, it is just, yeah. For some reason, the word curd scares us as Americans. There's cheese curds on there. Ooh, scary. But it is incredible. I mean, cheese and gravy on fries. How bad could it be, right?
You have a point. You have a point. Okay, Micah, what's happening for you?
I've been playing with fifth graders as well. Currently, we're working in a science unit about different simple machines and potential energy and all those fun science vocabulary words. We've been inspired since it's October with pumpkin chunkin'.
Oh, yeah.
So we're working on designing our own catapults to launch maybe this size of pumpkin. We're not going to, no. We'll go about this size. And so we're working on what type of catapult, slingshot, cannon kind of thing, and design, and trying to ask some local community, Lowe's, Menards, that kind of thing, see if they'll donate some things. Also trying to get a hold of an expert to talk to us about the science behind it. So we've got some pumpkin patches lined up to talk to us a little bit. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is. And are you planning to have face-to-face? Are you talking virtual conversations? What are you thinking, Micah?
Right now it's virtual. We've got a local one that I'd like him to come out, but he's a little, I was like, can we have 10 minutes of your time for children? He's like, sure. And so we'll see if we can make the virtual thing happen.
Yeah, way to pull on the heartstrings. That always works.
And I had them ask too. They're like, we have some questions. And they did. And he said, yeah, we can definitely talk about that. So it's good stuff.
That is going to be an awesome day. That is going to be great. And some of the things that I'm working on, this book came to my house, make sure you can see it, on Friday. This is the story of rock and roll wheelchair costumes, something like that. I never get it wrong. Forgive me, Lon, for saying it incorrectly. But basically what this is this is the true story of Reese Davis. This is a great friend of mine. He and his dad are extreme creative makers, is a good way to put it. What they do is each year, since Reese has been tiny, is they have created a Halloween costume that is actually designed around his wheelchair. So when he was a little guy, he was Peter Pan, and then they made the wheelchair have a very large back to it, so it became Big Ben. It was genius.
That's cool.
And he talks about in here from where they're actually starting to measure the wheelchair and put things together. This year he's going as Baymax. And it is a rather large large piece, but you can kind of see where he's putting it all together.
Wow, yeah.
What this is now is the book has just been published about how you can take your creativity and make your environment to do change for other people. And it's created by Finding Your Way Books, which also is a partner in Skype in the Classroom. So you can have the author, Jo Mach, or Mott, M-A-C-H, Mach, I think. She will Skype to your class and tell them about Reese. They'll tell her about what they've been doing and the power of creativity, what it can do for other people. So if you have a classroom that is doing maker environments or engineering kind of experience, this is the real deal. And Reese is also in the Central Time Zone. He lives in the Kansas City area. So if you do have classes who, like in California and so forth, when he's home, he will Skype and tell his story and do all those things to the classroom for free. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. That, and then we do have a big thing happening with our 5th grade today where we are doing a slow Twitter chat. Even though I say slow, that would allude to the fact that you don't have to respond real quickly. We're putting one question out an hour, and that seems a little rushed, I'm going to tell you. But we're asking kids who are studying early America, the colonies, and the beginnings of the American Revolution, some pretty deep questions about what does it mean to be a part of a free country? What is the difference between rights and responsibilities? And then there's some fun things, like what would you have made for lunch if you were in the colonial era? And asking classrooms to make bunsies, make graphics, take pictures, draw whatever, and answer that. And so far today we've had a classroom from McPherson, Kansas has been real active. We have one from Maryland, one from New York that's in, from Orchard, New York. And we're hoping to bring in some friends from El Paso before the day is over. And who knows, maybe some out on the West Coast will jump in. But it's been a tremendous conversation for kids to really stop and think about it. especially before they post something and decide, do I sound smart when I say this, and what?
Yeah, and how to boil answers down to 140 characters too. That's great.
Oh man, it's been a bit of a challenge, but I've really enjoyed seeing the teachers grow themselves through this process. They are in Twitter, but they haven't been real super connected.
Yeah.
This is part of that Connected Educator Month, so been cool.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and there's so many people and teachers would, a lot of teachers would fall into this category that they just don't understand the power of connecting with others. And something simple like that, we say, well, sure, there's a tool where you can have, your kids communicate with kids that are studying the same thing, a couple of states over, about, what, in colonial times, what did kids have for lunch, right? It's something so simple that, kids have to do some research and then share. But the teachers then get to see, like, wow, if we can connect up, to a class 2 states over on this, what happens when we're studying this topic or that topic, or, where can we, and think about how many people are on Twitter, and wow, yeah.
Definitely mind-blowing. So if you want to see what we've been putting out there today, the hashtag is Colonial Day. We'd love for you to come in and give your own responses to it. Even though it may not be today that you see us, maybe it's a couple days down the road, we'd love to hear from you. So yeah, those are the big things that are happening. Anything else, Mike, that we need to bring up?
Well, I wasn't here last week. I'm not sure where I was, but I think I had a professional development being done to me. but it was Space Week last week, and so that fits in with our 4th grade curriculum. And Steve Sherman, who's a friend of the show, Diane, I know you know Steve, in South Africa, actually does a great job with Space Week, and his website is livingmaths.com. Plural maths, livingmaths.com. And what he does is he finds some of the most incredible people around the world that he can, and he interviews them live on camera for any classrooms that want to view or participate. And so one of our 4th grade classes was lucky enough to be on camera asking questions to the chief scientist from NASA, who was talking about the recent discovery of flowing water on Mars and what it means. And that was absolutely incredible. Some of the questions that she was answering, how engaged our kids were, and of course all of it was recorded so I could show it to the other classes as well. That was a lot of fun. And then the next day he actually interviewed a different NASA scientist on the New Horizons mission that had just taken pictures of Pluto. And so we weren't able, because of the time, to get on that one live, but again we had the recording to look through. And then I had kids that went home and rewatched the video that they had been on with their parents just to show them the cool things that they had learned. So that was really awesome. And even though that was for Space Week, he does some great stuff throughout the year. So it's definitely worth checking out. livingmaths.com.
That would have been great. And I never thought about it. I mean, it makes sense. Why not, if you can, record the events like you're doing a Google Hangout, and then send it to the parents. Have them go back and watch it. That's a great conversation extender.
Yeah, I've got I built in Weebly a website where I post notes and student work and some of the stuff that we've done over the course of the year, just so the parents can keep connected. But yeah, we go ahead and actually so here's another great way that we've used that website, and it's got a blog for 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade, so the parents can check out what their kids are doing. But my wife teaches in a neighboring school district, and they had some outdated, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're like cameras that go on top of your microscope that you can project onto the screen and then show the kids. But I couldn't get the software to work, and our IT guys couldn't with the system that we're running here. So even though it was outdated, she gave it to us, we couldn't get it to work. So I said, I need some kind of digital microscope because my hands are steady, and I've been getting some decent pictures of just holding my iPhone over the lens. But it would be great if there would be a more efficient way to do this. And so I posted on Facebook, and teacher friends from all over posted some different solutions. And Ginger Lumen from out your way put up a video of how for $10 you can make your own. It magnifies up to 375 times your iPhone camera so that you can then project it, which is awesome. But I'm swamped and I have a tough time finding time to just do the things I have to do. So being able to build this is kind of rough. But kids love this kind of stuff. So I just took that video that she had posted and I put it up on the website and I said, hey, anyone who brings me one, like, you get imaginary bonus points, or like, you don't really get anything, but I'll give you a pat on the back. And kids are like, oh yeah, I want to build that. So I'm waiting. In the next week or so, I'm hoping that someone brings me in one, because that would be tough.
I love it. I can't wait to see what they bring in.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh, that's genius. And that's all it takes. Can you do it? Do you have a passion for it? Let's see what you can pull off.
Right. And I got kids, I know that someone's going to bring me one because kids are coming and say, my dad's a carpenter. We can't wait to get started on this. So, I'm anticipating sometime in the next week I'll get something.
I love it. Oh, all right. Well, Mike, it sounds like you probably get back to the rigorous pursuit of goodness today.
Yeah, we got stuff to do.
Yeah, me too. I've got to go jump in the Twitter chat. So,
all right.
What are you having for lunch?
Oh, I was so tired this morning that I didn't make lunch, so I was forced to go buy some school lunch today, and it was hamburger day. So I'll just leave it at that. So, sometimes you win, and sometimes it's hamburger day.
It's hamburger day, and I'm having corn chowder, so soup. That's my world.
Oh, that sounds good. You get to today.
All righty, bud. We will see you next time.
All right, sounds good.